In the last 6 months, the Saraki brand has kicked up with a noticeable momentum as many Nigerians kept calling on him to pick up the presidential ticket against the 2019 elections, and the sweet victory at the Supreme Court only made matters worse for his antagonist. In all honesty, Saraki has displayed some unique presidential traits in the last 3 years, and this year alone, it displayed some leadership traits that we Nigerians are not so accustomed to, things our leaders rarely do. For example, Saraki wowed everyone when he paid a personal visit to the National Assembly staff who was injured during the May theft drama. He showed immense support for the Super Eagles during the World Cup and celebrated the Children's Day at the IDP camp. He also visited NYC camp in Kwara over the death of a young corps member and called to condole with the family of the NYC lady whose life was unjustly cut short in Abuja. However, some critics were not so convinced. They said Saraki is only playing politics by doing all this. And we said, no problem. At least Saraki is raising the bar. Let other leaders follow suit in playing such politics by showing devotion to the people. And the critics said, okay, so why is Saraki showing this devotion to the people just months before the 2019 elections? We said, oh no, you're mistaken. Check this out. In 2011, Saraki exposed the biggest corrupt practices in the history of our democratic rule.
Observe that although 240 billion was budgeted for the entire year, 931 billion has been spent.
In 2012, he visited Ogoniland to personally assess the level of oil spillage. 2014, he donated blood to victims of Nyanya bombing in Abuja. 2015, he visited Maiduguri amidst the insurgency crisis to have an assessment of the situation on ground. 2016, he visited Aba in Abia State in order to promote made in Nigeria products. 2017, he promised to support Ali Amadu, a boy who could not walk because he was run over by Boko Haram. Months later, Ali had been operated abroad and could walk again. These and more are the leadership traits that we wish all our leaders can emulate. Care for the citizens, do on-ground assessments, lead by example, inspire people, and share their pain. But the critics still disagreed. They said, all these don't necessarily translate to competence. Okay, can you name one thing Saraki did as a two-term governor of Kwara State? We said, oh yes we can. As a matter of fact, we can name 50 things, but we will name just 10 unique things that made him stand out as a governor back then. As at then, Saraki initiated one of the best diagnostic centers in West Africa. He initiated one of the best agricultural initiatives in Nigeria. He established the first state-owned aviation college in Nigeria. He established the first state-owned football academy in Nigeria. He initiated the first community-based health insurance scheme in Kwara. Under him, Kwara became the first state to complete the Nigerian Integrated Power Project in Nigeria. 17 administrations before Saraki built only 3 housing estates. Saraki built 10 and became the first governor to build housing estates across all the 3 senatorial districts. He built the first ever overhead bridge in Kwara and decongested the busiest area in the state capital. He initiated the Kwara Clean and Green program and made Kwara one of the cleanest states in Nigeria. Saraki bagged over 15 awards as best governor, both locally and internationally, and was popularly known as a youth-friendly leader. And the critics said, so why does he have a lot of enemies? We said, it's obvious. Saraki is a political genius who brings innovation, maturity, and modernization to our way of politicking in Nigeria. But because they couldn't match him in ingenuity, they resort to character assassination as a means to an end. The moment he emerged as the Senate president, the desperation to assassinate his character has been too palpable. They called him arrogant, selfish, and too ambitious. They took him to court for forgery. They took him to court for false assets declaration. They said an armored car belonged to him. They said he stole Kwara dry as governor. They said he had 17 trillion naira in his account. They orchestrated for him to be stoned in his hometown. They called him a thief, a tyrant, and a kingpin to armed robbery. They trampled, ridiculed, and made all sorts to blacklist the Nigerian Senate, the whole institution, just because Saraki is the Senate president. This is rather unfortunate because, contrary to what they keep selling to the public, the 8th Assembly under Saraki is by far the best our democracy has ever seen. They have passed more bills than any previous Senate. They have resolved more petitions than all past Senates combined. They broke the jinx on petroleum industry bill. They supported and passed the multi-young to run bill. They opened the NAS budget for public scrutiny. They amended the constitution. They made the national budgeting process transparent. They promoted Made in Nigeria and supported it with solid policies. They made reforms that touch every sector. They exposed corrupt practices in different parts of the system and intervened on several issues that touches the masses directly. But because of the personal vendetta against Saraki, some people will go all out to undermine the genuine efforts of people that are breaking jinxes, making history and introducing the real change. Are we not tired of all these outdated political gimmicks, lies and prejudice?
If you think today you are talking about the 8th Senate or the 8th House of Representatives and you continue to weaken this institution, it will hurt us later down the line when you need those institutions to stand for democracy.
Saraki is a ground force to reckon with because for every political seat he had touched, he had made impressive impact. He lives like a leader, he listens like a follower. He's the first in many things, he's brilliant, intelligent and innovative. He moves with purpose and stands for excellence. And so, this is why we support Dr. Abubakar Bukola Saraki.